There is a reason most product brands fail or don't make it past 2 years, and it's almost always because they've completely missed the mark on who they are trying to actually target. Most founders, whether they are just starting out or whether they've been at it for a while, are stuck using old tactics, or they're making tired assumptions about their customers instead of actually understanding their customers' wants and needs. And I think the biggest issue I've seen time and time again with brands that I work with is that we don't respect people's time anymore. If you are going to show up in someone's feed, send them an email or put a message in front of them as a brand owner, wouldn't it be nice if they actually enjoyed what you are putting in front of them? And when you and your brand come from a place of genuinely caring about the other person on the other side of that screen, you just tend to build a better brand. You make better content, you create better products, and that's what I want to talk about today. I'm Lewis Maguire. I have owned, designed, sourced, and sold multiple brands across 40 countries now. And as I said before, I've been doing it for nearly a decade. And my aim with these videos is just to share the lessons I've learned the hard way over the years and give them for free. And what I've learned is this: brand building is not complicated at all. It's just that most people focus on the wrong things when they're starting out. So I'm going to break it down in the simplest way possible for you. If you are building your first brand, or if you have a brand and you're trying to break through to another country or two, which you should be, this is what I would do or what I would recommend to give you the best chance of succeeding after doing this multiple times over the last few years. So step one, start by listening, not talking. Before you ever launch a new product, before you ever write a single piece of copy or a single piece of marketing for your website, before you even think about what your brand's voice should sound like, you should listen. And I mean, really listen. Your biggest advantage right now when you're starting out is time. You are not a massive corporation or a huge global brand that's 40 years old with rigid systems and outdated processes. You can move fast, you can adapt. And this is why the brands that you're seeing at the top of the market right now are leading. They've understood this a few years ago and cracked the market. But the only way you do that effectively is to actually know what people are saying. And social media is the greatest gift we've ever been given as founders. It's not just a place to post content. It's a place to see what people are actually thinking, what people are actually complaining about, and what they wish existed but doesn't yet. And I will give you an example. When I was working with one of the activewear brands that I launched, and I heard from multiple friends, and I saw it on social media, and I spoke with retailers and heard the same complaint over and over again about a well-known brand. A well-known brand called Nike, who had the largest market share in the UK at the time, they changed the neckline on their t-shirts and added an extra centimetre, and it ended up looking like a scoop neck, and everyone was complaining about it at the time, but no one noticed it enough to fix the issue. Now that is where the opportunity is. That is where the best businesses in the world come in. The best businesses in the world are solving problems that everyone just talk about, but no one is addressing. And you can find those problems for free just by listening and just by using those fantastic things called ears or reading it online. So here's what I would do today. Spend an hour listening or reading. Go on Instagram, go on TikTok, go on Facebook, go on Trustpilot, wherever your audience hangs around. Read the comments, read the reviews of competing brands. Watch what people are asking for. Note it down. That's your starting point. That's your growth gap right there in front of you. There's your direction. Now, step two, make content people actually want to watch. Here's the thing. We are now living in the most competitive time in history when it comes to attention. Everyone's got a phone. Everyone's got the opportunity to have a platform. Everyone is trying to share something, okay? But here's the good news. Most people are doing it completely wrong. I see it time and time again. They are making content that's all about them, their products, their features, their benefits, and honestly, no one cares about them. What people care about is whether you are going to waste their time or give them something valuable back. And if you can give them something valuable, they will stick around, they will engage, they will follow you, they'll build trust with you, and then eventually they will buy from you. And then the highest form, they'll tell their friends about you. So you should always ask yourself this question before posting anything. will a person on the other side of this phone, laptop, mobile like this? Not, will this get me sales? Not, will this go viral? But will the person watching actually enjoy it or learn something from the content that you are putting out? Because when you are starting or when you are growing, when you start thinking like this early on, that psychology changes everything. Your content gets better, your messaging gets clearer, and your brand starts to feel like something people actually want to be a part of, not something that people are being sold to. Look at the brands that are winning right now. They are not the ones with the biggest budgets. They are ones that are making content that people actually relate to and actually want to watch. They've genuinely created a community around their brand that's entertaining, inclusive, educational, and authentic. That's what you should focus on. Stop thinking about content as a way to sell and start thinking of a way to serve, and the sales will follow, believe me. And that brings me on to step 3. Tell your story, not someone else's. One of the biggest shifts in the market I've seen over the past decade is that you do not need permission to tell your own story. And the people who do tell their story are leaping forward. You don't need a TV network. You don't need a magazine feature. I remember being buzzing the first time I got featured in a magazine called Forbes. It's pointless in today's age. You don't need anyone to put you up there. You don't need anyone to say what you want to say in this day and age. You just have to go on your phone. You have your own platform. And you've got your own story that's yours and no one else's. But where most founders get stuck, they think, like I did, they need to sound like everyone else. They need to be like the massive brands. They need to copy what the big brands are doing, and they lose what makes them unique in the process. Your authentic story is truly your biggest asset. The real reason you started the brand, real problem you are solving, the mistakes you learned along the way. Like me, thousands of jackets turned up, came faulty. I laugh now, although I didn't laugh at the time. It was horrendous. I thought the world was ending. But that's what people connect with, not just your product specs, not just your fancy packaging, just your story. It all helps. The packaging and the specs are great, but your story and the connection around it is what grows a brand, because people buy into authenticity. And the best part is, you don't need to be perfect at selling it. You don't need a film crew. You don't need a professional editor. You don't need to be like me, Netflix cameras and all this expensive microphone stuff. You can just get stuff off Amazon. You just need to be real and do it on the cheap at the start. And the brands that I work with are getting a better reaction out of using their iPhone and videoing themselves. And honestly, over the years, some of the most successful brands I've seen are the ones where the founder just picks up their phone and talks to it honestly. Raw content out there. People can feel when something is real. They appreciate it. So just be you. And that's what's going to make your brand stand out in a sea of product. Step 4, play the long game. This is the part that drives most founders crazy, because when I say patience, people think I mean slow down. Well, that's not what I mean at all. Patience is not complacency. Patience is understanding that you are building something meaningful that takes time. And if you're not willing to play the long game, you will make short-term decisions and it will hurt you in the long run. And that goes for every aspect of your life. I've seen this time and time again. Founders launch a product, it doesn't blow up in the first week, they don't sell out, so they panic. They change strategy, they pivot, they cancel prices, they try something completely new that is so off-brand, and they never give anything enough time to actually work. And what I've learned from building multiple brands in multiple categories is the way that you know if you're building something real is when you start to see the compound effect. When you don't have to spend too much on ads because people are talking about it organically. When customers are coming back without you having to chase them. That's when your reputation carries your brand and your business. That is true success. And that does not happen in 30 days. It doesn't even happen in the first month or two. It happens in seasons and in years. And if you are not willing to commit to that, you are not building a true brand. You are just selling products. When you are building a brand for the first time, you have to remind yourself every single day, this is a long-term game. There will be moments as well when you want to quit. When you think that things aren't going to work, you'll have your doubts. But if you keep showing up, you keep listening to your customer, you keep making content, you keep serving your customer, you'll eventually start to snowball. And that's when everything changes. You get to live the life that you want to live, not because you got lucky, because you were patient enough to let things compound over time. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Think in seasons, not just weeks. Build something that lasts and trust that what you are doing is right and the results will come after, as long as you are following the correct framework. And if you want the correct framework that I've used multiple times and passed out to hundreds now, head to brandmap.io, where I can help you map out your entire brand's future. And for me, building a brand isn't about having the biggest budget or the fanciest website or the most followers. It truly is about caring about the customers. It's about listening to them. It's about telling your brand story in a way that feels real. And it's about being patient enough to let it all come together. And if you are a founder who's just starting out, or you're a little bit experienced and you're in the thick of it and you're trying to expand into another country, or your dream is to get into the United States and wondering if it would work in that market, I want you to know this. You are truly closer than you think. I know so many good friends who've done it, sold in multiple countries, built global brands. Some of the guys at the top truly are winging it. And for the first few years, I was winging it. I've built everything around me now and my life has come together full circle. But for you, if you are just starting out, please just keep going. Focus on the people you are trying to serve. Keep building something that you are proud of, because when you do that, success isn't just possible, it is inevitable. Please trust me. And that's how simple things can be when you have a strategy in place and you are focused on what actually works. And as I said before, if this helps, please save it for when you need a reminder, or head to brandmap.io for more detailed information. But I honestly wish you the best of luck on your journey. Just keep it moving forward, stay positive, keep smiling. It's all there for the taking, believe me. And I will see you on the other side.